career appearance, plus Martin Keown and Ashley Cole. Henry and Bergkamp started on the bench. Jeffers and Viltord were up front. And the availability of John Curtis resulted in the mission of defender Sean Murphy in the Sheffield United side. Phil Jagielka moved alongside Robert Page. 38-year-old Stuart McCall was in midfield. Steve Cabba, scorer of 3 key FA Cup goals, was up front alongside Wayne Allison. Trevor Brooking and John Motson were in the commentary box.
Michael Brown. Allison going left to right. Cabba going to the right. He bumps into Ashley Cole but still gets the ball. Brown is still in support here. Allison's got his arm up far side. He's coming in now, Wayne Allison. And Lauren had to do something, and he got a touch.
Well, that's the first time Michael Brown's had a bit of space. He was very patient in the build-up, and this was a quality cross that Arsenal didn't produce up the other end on a couple of occasions. That was a terrible one for Lauren to deal with.
This is Brown. Bit of a wrestling match there. Campbell and Allison. Graham Poll says carry on. Allison is down. Here's Wiltord. Oh, and now Graham Poll collides with Tom.
That's a booking for Graham Poll, isn't it? That.
But Allison, more seriously, is on the ground in the other half. That's what all the hooting's about. Edu. Ljungberg looking for Jeffers. And Jeffers has got to pull the ball back. Wiltord off the post. Wiltord again. Ljungberg. And Arsenal have scored. Freddie Ljungberg. And there'll be a right old row now, because Wayne Allison was on the ground for about a minute and a half. And Page, the captain, has gone to complain to Graham Poll while you watch the replay. Francis Jeffers down by the line. It was Wiltord against the post. It was nearly Wiltord again. And then Freddie Ljungberg appeared. And when the deflection came his way, well, Arsenal have taken the lead in the semi-final, Trevor, with 34 minutes gone. But what about the injured player?
Well, you're going to have to pick it right up from the initial collision. That's the one down there. It doesn't look a lot at the stage, so you could have, I think, let the play go, because he doesn't look that badly injured. Then you had, look, Tongue would have made that interception. There's no question he'd have intercepted that ball, and it enabled Arsenal to keep it. And from then on, they're in trouble and they concede a goal. I mean, I would like to get Neil Warnock's comments. I know you might have to do it after the 9 o'clock watershed.
No complaints from the Arsenal contingent, but those from the Nationwide League Club will feel a little hard done by, I think. And I think you can tell from the reaction, Graham Poll backing right off, and Sheffield United, who by and large are pretty well behaved when it comes to this kind of thing. They've gone trotting straight off to the dressing room. Well, Page has led them off. And I don't think there's going to be much of a protest here, publicly anyway, unless, well, there's a lot of booing from the Sheffield United supporters at that end. I'm just looking to see if I can find out what... Well, Warnock has put his hand to his ear, as if to say, can you hear them, referee? This is Gilberto. And he's found his compatriot, Edu. Parler. Wiltord. Edu again. Jeffers makes a run. Oh, and a chance here for Wiltord! And Kenny down to make the save.
Well, that was the best move of the match. Quite magnificent. The two Brazilians linked up. Edu and Gilberto played a couple of 1-2s, and then Viltord knocked it. Edu played it back to Viltord. Just get tucked under his feet. He kept it low. Good save from Kenny.
Martin Keown using his arms on Asaba. Challenged by Edu. Well, that's a very short pass for Parler by Edu. Michael Brown has pushed right forward in this attack for Sheffield. This is Tong to Unlub. In comes Cabba, in comes Montgomery. They really are playing well. This is Kozlov. Now it's Tong. And he's rolling this across to Curtis. That would have been a fine way for John Curtis to open his Sheffield United account. He's only on loan till the end of the season from Blackburn Rovers, but he middled this.
Well, of course, he started here at Old Trafford, so he's used to the ground, and that wasn't far away. David Seaman didn't seem too perturbed, did he? Looks as if he was covering it.
Asaba. Michael Brown. Unlove's in the centre, being joined by Montgomery. Still Brown. Montgomery's coming in far side of the header. Well, Ashley Cole, I think it was, got it away. He might have to do it again here. That was a chance again. But hold on, Page. Montgomery's causing some difficulties on the right-hand side, and Cole is all on to try and hold him. Ljungberg has come back to help. Sheffield United is still in the semi-final. Of that, there is no question. Now, Martin Keown having to pursue Asaba. It's come off Keown, it's a corner. Onto the line goes Pesca Solido. Page is on the back post here. Oh, Sol Campbell feels he was pushed. Corner again.
It's a good challenge, those two, Campbell and Page.
Michael Tong has gone across to the far side to take it. Page again. The chance to hook it in, and it's not gone in. How did it stay out? Asaba can't believe it. He can't believe it. What has Graham Cole given?
It's goal kick. He's given a goal kick, I think.
What a scramble!
Seaman is the man here.
Asaba's volley, and then Pesca Solido, and Seaman. What a magnificent save! Breathtaking. Pesca Solido thought he'd equalised. They're grip bite, aren't they? Ljungberg to Cole. Arsenal are through to the FA Cup final for the third year running. Sheffield United take fulsome praise for testing them to the very last and pushing them all the way. The two managers showing mutual respect, and the two incidents that will be remembered: the controversy over the Ljungberg goal that won it, and that masterful piece of goalkeeping by David Seaman that kept it at 1-0. But Sheffield United from the Nationwide League take enormous credit. This was hard work for Arsenal, make no mistake about it. They held on to the Ljungberg goal, which was scored in the 34th minute. But what a bashing they took in the second half from Sheffield United. And Graham Cole is walking off again to some boos from the Sheffield supporters. Neil Warnock can only be proud.
It's just disappointing to go out with a goal like that. It's just so destroying. It's hard to explain. You know what I think about referees, but I just thought he actually enjoyed it, Graham, today, and he's good enough. He shouldn't be in a position to be like that, and I think they should be punished. They should be banned for a month, referees, when they make mistakes like that.
Can you explain to us precisely when a referee can stop a match?
Yeah, I mean, a referee in the laws of the game is required to stop the game if a player has a serious injury and he wants him to be assessed, that injury to be assessed with a view to taking the player off the field of play to get treatment. So if we're coming down to specifics for this game, there was a situation where Wayne Allinson went down under a challenge which from the angle I had, I didn't feel was a foul. I didn't think he was seriously injured, and I think that was probably borne out by the fact that he went off and came on straight away without apparently having an injury. I'm not required to stop the play. That isn't not in my brief.
In general, he just wasn't consistent. He wasn't fair, and that's what disappoints me. You know, you can lose. I wish we'd have lost 3 or 4-0 than lose 1-0 like that to a goal like that should never have happened, and that's what disappoints me. But that's the FA Cup.
Tell me about that save.
To be truthful, I thought he was in. I just flung my hand out and managed to get something on it and behind it. That was important to stop it travelling any further over the line, but you know, I was pleased with that one.
The save by David Seaman was pretty superb. He is capable of saves like that.
Yes, he's shown that today, and he's still hard work in training. And I think the save he has made today is basically down to the fact that he works very hard in training, and that shows you it's kind of example to follow for the young goalkeepers, and as well that when you have a serious life and a dedicated life like he has, you can play a long time as a goalkeeper.
Are the Arsenal players now confident that the double is a possibility again?
I mean, I think we have thought all the time that it's a possibility, but now we're in the final, and that's great, and now we can concentrate on the league, and, you know, hopefully we can win that, and then we have another week to concentrate on the cup final.
You can understand Neil Warnock feeling aggrieved. Does Graham Poll deserve so much flack?
Well, Graham Poll makes the point he didn't think that Wayne Allison was serious enough injured to stop the play. He waves play on, and we see that. It's a bit of a clumsy tackle by Campbell, but it's not very serious.
So he's made a decision. These things happen.
Paul has made a decision. I'm more interested in what takes place, because when the ball moves in here, Paul's position is poor. He bumps into Michael Tong when he could have made the tackle and broke the move down. Now, I think a professional referee should be, his positional sense and play should be much better than that. And I think that Sheffield have a case there. However, here, it's a different kettle of fish.
I think having said that, though, there's ample opportunity. And plenty of time, I don't know, 30 maybe seconds, maybe more. They get several opportunities to clear the ball, Sheffield United, and they don't. It did play a part in the goal. You know, maybe Michael Tong would have intercepted it, but after that they could have cleared it. And unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things that happens in football. The referee's got in the way, and unfortunately on this occasion there's nothing that can be done about it.
Ban refereeing for 4 weeks, well...
I think what Neil is saying is referees somehow need to be accountable. Well, that is a discussion that can go on and on and on.
I think he's got a fair point there. I think, you know, in this day and age, you know, referees do make errors, and sometimes they do lead to goals, and sometimes they can be sort of, you know, quite catastrophic errors. And I think, you know, they're not accountable in any way. You know, players get dropped and everything else. And I think it'd be nice for players and managers to, you know, to see managers and referees have action taken against them.
I guess they get marked, and these things have to come to pass at the end of the season. But what about that save, David Seaman? World class or sort of universe class?
Well, lots of people, and
sensational.
Eriksen's one of them, has been saying he's a world-class goalkeeper for a long time. Still a world-class goalkeeper at 39. And what impresses me is that when the ball gets in that position where it looks like it's past him there, he's got no right not just keep it out the goal, but he hooks it out of a dangerous area.
He's almost diving back on himself against, you know, the movement of his body. And, like, you know, most keepers would have been delighted just to get a hand on it, but, you know, as you can see, he doesn't get a hand on it. He gets enough of it to drag it out the goal and push it past Pesci Solido, and obviously, you know, so he can't score again. But absolutely unbelievable save. And, you know, like, there's not too many keepers that would have been able to do that.
I think what's so interesting here as well is after he makes the save, all the Arsenal players are trooping over immediately because they recognise when one of their own has really done well.
I think that's the seal of approval. Freddie, Ljungberg, Edu, they all come over at some stage and say, well done, great save.
There's nothing better in football than that. You know, your teammates all around you, and you know you've done something well.
So the 2003 FA Cup final will be between Arsenal and Southampton on Saturday, May the 17th, live on BBC One.
I think it's good for us that, you know, we got it out of the way. Now we concentrated very good at this game, and you know, took a lot of effort to win the game. But now it's a game on Wednesday, and I think everybody's looking forward to it.
Is the double on?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try to do our best. We said that all the season, that that's what we're going to try to do, and hopefully we can do it.
Quite phlegmatic as ever, Freddie, but he is, I think we've said Vieira is the linchpin for Arsenal, and obviously there are key players all over the pitch, but he was a key man at this stage last season in terms of the goals he nicked to win games. Did it again yesterday, did it previously
just
in the
running into form.
Yeah.
He's been out injured, coming back fresh, and he's got, you know, fantastic energy. He could be massive for them, but, you know, I think two people as well we're not talking about is Wenger and Fergie. You know, they've had the walls off the pitch as well, and they'll play a part in what happens Wednesday night, how they send the teams out and how they go about things. And it could be the team that holds it together most, not necessarily who plays. I think, you know, you're going to have to be in control of yourself.
It's a massive pride thing as well, isn't it? You look at the two managers, they're very proud.
Not least because Arsenal, of course, won the championship at Old Trafford last season. So the chance for revenge in that sense... That will not have been forgotten, don't worry about that, boy. Not for a second. And lest you forget, you can see what happens on Wednesday night, right here on ITV1, the best of Arsenal against Manchester United, right here on ITV1 at 11:30 on Wednesday evening.
This Wednesday, 4 years ago, Arsenal and United fought out one of the most exciting games of football seen in recent years. Arsenal could have and should have won it. United, though, a man short, lifted themselves for the most dramatic of victories.
It's a wonderful run from Giggs! Sensational goal from Ryan Giggs!
The stakes tonight, though, are even higher than they were for that FA Cup semi-final.
It'll be a gigantic struggle. I think Arsenal now, the pressure is definitely on Arsenal to go and win the game. And I think it sets it up for a fascinating, titanic struggle. I hope the big players play. If they do, we could get a game that's very, very, very special.
Arsenal's 2 titles under Arsene Wenger so far have come after they chased and caught United in the finishing straight. As pace-setters themselves, though, the Gunners have recently been showing signs of heavy legs.
And I don't care what Arsene says, I think he's a little bit nervous now. I think he's seen a lead disappear. He couldn't have believed, Arsene Wenger, that he would watch Manchester United beat Liverpool 4 and Newcastle 6 in consecutive games. He must have thought there's a chance they'll lose a point in one of those games, and it might just stretch their lead. They haven't done so. They've got stronger, if anything.
So, who on earth is going to win this contest? Which manager will be celebrating tonight?
If you gave me money and you said, you have to bet, and you can't pick a draw, because I think it might be, I think United might beat them.
One mistake, or one piece of magic? What's going to decide this contest? Guy Havord, Sky Sports.
Well, the big match referee tonight is Mark Halsey, and the Hertfordshire official's record this season suggests he'll make sure it's a free-flowing game. He's been one of the most lenient of Premiership referees this season. Halsey averages just 2.4 yellow cards per game, dishing out almost half as many as Mike Dean, Mike Riley and Rob Stiles. Further down, David Ellery averages 3.1 cards per game, and World Cup ref Graham Poll has handed out 60 cards from his 20 games. While Halsey's Premiership record this season, 20 matches, 41 yellow cards and 3 red cards. He's awarded 7 spot kicks in those games and an average of 12.3 fouls before taking names.
He's prepared to concede that this is the biggest game of the season. But for Arsene Wenger, that's as far as it goes. The title itself certainly won't be done and dusted this evening.
If they win the game, they might have a good chance, but that's far from being done. And even if they win it, it's far from being over. Because they have tricky games as well, and difficult games. And we will fight for until the last minute.
The theme's picked up by Ray Parlour, who believes treating the game as a title decider can only have a detrimental effect. The boss prefers to concentrate on the qualities that took Arsenal to the double last season.
To win it, you want to play well and to go play with belief and get your quality passing together and play with a great togetherness, which we have done so many times, that you just want to focus on what makes your team strong. And you have to take your distance with all the hype that is around the game, because you know that won't make you win the game. What makes you win the game is reality, and reality is pass the ball well and play well football.
And he believes the 2 previous encounters will have a major bearing on the result tonight.
You remember the good and the bad, and you will think that won't happen again. When it was bad and when it was good, you think, oh, we can do that, and that works, and we can beat them in that aspect, and so you try to get that working again.
And another dose of the good would see Arsenal back on top of the Premiership tonight. Philip Barker, Sky Sports.
So, the time for talking is almost over before Arsene Wenger and Arsenal come face to face with Sir Alex Ferguson and his Manchester United side. It's live on Sky Sports 1 from 7 tonight.
Fantastic defending. Superbly done. What a straight. Superb. Wonderful. It is quite simply Arsenal against Manchester United. Absolutely top draw.
Face Off, a Ford football special, tonight, 7 o'clock.